Hello, Patriots. I'm Lee Watts, and this is Patriot Point, your source for Kentucky news and analysis from a conservative, Christian, and common sense point of view. Well, the right to life battle right now is raging in the Kentucky Capitol, and we need you to help us to help protect the life of the unborn. There's two bills we need to talk about on this. First of all, is Senate Bill 118. This would put on the ballot again, not this November, but next November, the thing that we voted on last year that says there's no right to an abortion in the Kentucky Constitution or law. This measure was kind of confusing for some people last year, and it only failed by 2%. So they're putting it back up. They want to put it on the ballot. I think it'd be great. There'd be one exception. It would say there's no right to an abortion except in cases of rape and incest. Now, on a gut reaction, a lot of people think, well, then that's great. However, I do not like these exceptions, and let's talk about the reasons why. First of all, is abortion murder or not? Abortion is murder of a child. If you didn't commit the abortion, the baby would live. And if we have one baby that's protected, but we have another baby because some horrific violent act occurred, we're going to say, well, it's okay to murder that baby. I don't accept that, and I don't think that the Bible does either. Notice the biblical principle that we see in Ezekiel chapter number 18 and verse number 20. The Son shall not bear the iniquity of the Father, neither shall the Father bear the iniquity of the Son. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon him. So here we see a biblical principle that just because the father has committed some crime, some sin, that doesn't mean that the child is supposed to be the one to pay for it. And just because there has been one horrific violent act, that in no way justifies another horrific violent act. So I very much like Senate Bill 118, but desperately want an amendment to take out those two exceptions saying it's actually okay to murder some kids, because it never is. The other bill about pro-life is House Bill number 300. I discussed this a few weeks ago. It didn't have a bill number yet. Now it does. House Bill 300 is what is called the Equal Protection Act. And it says that under the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, all laws have to protect everybody equally. And you have a right not to be murdered, and that includes a right for the unborn, that they have the right not to be murdered as well. Now, some politicians are coming out saying, well, they oppose this because it would make pregnant mothers who went to go get an abortion, it would make them criminals. Well, let me give you a little illustration about this and find out who's actually a criminal and who's not. Let's say we have three persons. Person A is just a homicidal maniac. They're just a crazy killer. Then we have person B, who's an innocent bystander, not doing anything to anybody. Then you have person C. Person C kidnaps person B and takes them to person A because they want them killed and knows that person A will kill them, and they do kill them. And who's guilty of committing a crime? Person A, person C, or both persons, A and C, are really both guilty in some degree to the murder of person B. The answer is the third one. Both persons A and C have committed a crime. One of them committed the murder. The other one is an accessory to murder, taking the person to be murdered on purpose. And so when we talk about this exception, well, we shouldn't make mothers, they're all exempt from committing a crime. Do the women who take their children to an abortion clinic to be murdered, is that the exact same story that we're talking about here? Do these kids deserve to be murdered? They are pure, they are innocent, they are precious. And if we say there's always an exception, the mother can never be charged, then we will always have abortion in Kentucky. They can take these, they don't even have to go to an abortion clinic. Did you know that? Nowadays you can just order a pill through the mail that will have an abortion performed if you swallow the pill. And if we don't pass House Bill 300, we will always have thousands of abortions every single year in Kentucky. So are we pro-life or not? Is it murder or is it not? And should we have exceptions to murdering children? I surely don't think so. So I very much support House Bill number 300. Now I need to give you an update on what we talked about last week. Last week we were discussing House Bill 177, which would protect some Kentucky students from this radical leftist woke agenda. And we had some heroes stand up and say, we're going to protect Kentucky students and some parental rights against this woke agenda. I ask you to contact your legislators and encourage them to co-sponsor this bill. And a bunch of you did it. You stood up, you spoke up, and it has made a difference. I'm going to show you now. These are the people who are now sponsors of it that I didn't already mention last week. So you have all of last week's people, plus also these new heroes who have stepped up against the woke agenda to be heroes and protect Kentucky kids. The following representatives are now co-sponsors of this bill. Representatives Randy Bridges, Emily Callaway, Ryan Dotson, Patrick Flannery, Jim Gooch, Bobby McCool, Sarge Pollock, Tom Smith, Timmy Truitt, and Wade Williams. If you want to see the full list of who was sponsoring last week and who is not yet a sponsor, just watch last week's program. I list every representative up there that would consider it, and I give you their email, I give you their phone number, and some people might have sponsored it after I am recording this program. So in the description of this video is a direct link where you can check on the Kentucky Capitol website to see in real time who is now currently sponsoring this bill. When you contact your legislators, remember, be brief, be courteous, and ask them to contact you back with what they will be doing. Because some of them may want to be for this, but they haven't heard about it because there's hundreds of bills or they haven't got to it yet. Keep that in mind. Then, of course, some people contacted their legislators, and instead of getting an answer back, they got these words. They're like, well, I might consider it if and when it comes across my desk. If you get that kind of answer, do you know what that means? That means that legislator doesn't intend to lift a single finger to actually help stand up against the woke agenda. But if other people stand up and if other people are strong on the fight for our Kentucky kid rights, then they'll consider it. If you like that kind of an answer, keep voting the person in. If you don't like that answer, fire that legislator and vote for somebody else in the primaries. Now, some people have been asking me also about House Bill 173. This is a bill that covers a lot of the same topics, and these two bills overlap quite a bit. And people have been asking me, should they support House Bill 177 that I've been talking about for 2 weeks, or number 173? The answer is both. Both of these are great bills. 173 just covers a lot of more topics. So I would love to see both of these passed, but it would be foolish to oppose one to try to get the other. Let's try to get both of them done, and if we can get both of them done, that would be outstanding. So 177 is the one I'm talking about. 173, that goes even farther, and I think that one's great too. So these are some of the issues that we have going on in Kentucky right now. I hope you'll contact your legislators. Don't forget to watch last week's program if you want a list of everybody's emails and phone numbers to get a hold of them. And if you would like to get Patriot Point sent directly to you, just send me an email at lee.watts.kentucky@gmail.com. If you do that, then I will send you an email, a direct link every week to Patriot Point. And if you've never subscribed to the channel, I hope you'll do that. So until next week, I'm Lee Watts for Patriot Point, reminding you that liberty is not a spectator's sport.